Welcome back to the sixth and final episode of the S Word podcast, The Sustainable Hotel. And it is a very special episode indeed because we just launched the Sustainable Handbook Communication. You can find it over on thesustainablehotel.com. This handbook dives even deeper into the topic of sustainability communication. It offers even more practical insights, resources, templates, checklists, case studies, interviews, scorecards. The list goes on. We're here to help you chart your sustainability communication strategy. Over the course of the podcast, we've gotten loads of questions about sustainability communication and the handbook. So we're going to take the time to answer those and make the point that by communicating your sustainability activities in a sustainable way, you ensure your sustainability efforts are even more successful. Let's answer some questions, Lena.
Yes, and let's dive straight into the first one. Why is communication important for sustainable hotels? Now, we can all agree that hotels need people, like employees and guests, to operate. As a crucial part of your marketing department, communication is about attracting the best talent, but also guests by communicating to the world that your hotel exists. Why and for whom? Without strategic and sustainable communication, you don't attract the right guests, and without guests, sooner than later, your hotel will cease to exist. Now, communication is done right and in a sustainable manner. Hotels do attract more and ideal clients who opt for you because of your sustainability actions and is willing to pay for them. And in turn, and in turn, the guests will find their dream accommodation. But also talking about employees and partners, they feel motivated to work with you. Your local community will support and uplift you. Honestly, if you communicate your sustainability initiatives in a sustainable way, it's a win win for all your hotel, your stakeholders, and the planet to boot.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean,
Yeah.
we see it over and over again. And we have told also a few best practices where our listeners can see that it makes such a difference. Not only that, of course, they implement sustainability initiatives, but that they communicate them in the right
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that's definitely something that's been swept under the rug for too long.
Yeah,
So we're excited to bring it to the surface.
exactly.
So, one of the questions that I would like to answer is how do hotels avoid greenwashing and what's an example of greenwashing? So, to avoid greenwashing, the most important thing to remember is communication must follow action. You must be on the sustainability journey, taking meaningful steps in the right direction with proof and data to back up that you're on that journey. And in order to communicate sustainability, you really have to take these points into consideration. If you're not walking the sustainability talk, then you're simply greenwashing. An example of greenwashing is claiming that you have a recycling program in place, which involves putting recycling bins in rooms without actually having an established system for properly sorting, disposing, and recycling waste. An answer at its most essence, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so true. Now, we have received another question, and that one is an interesting one. Is it worth the investment required to properly and effectively communicate sustainability? And I guess it's related to my first answer because also here the answer is yes. When we talk about investment, we would like to define it because we talk both time and in financial investment. Financially, you might need to hire an additional team member or to give special time to a team member that they can work on your sustainability communication. You might have to purchase communication tools like a training program or a project management tool to involve all your employees in your sustainability activities. Or, as we would suggest, invest in a sustainable hotel handbook communication, which I mean will guide you and your team in such a practical and actionable way through setting up and implementing your communication strategy step by step. Now, the answer remains yes. Ultimately, whatever will help you to easily and effectively communicate is worth it, as communication has so much to do with your hotel's sustainability success. and its overall success too. From a time perspective, we always say to dedicate the time and focus needed to, otherwise, you run the risk of greenwashing and focusing on other communication priorities.
And in the same vein, I got the question, is the investment in your communication handbook worth it? Of course, we are going to say yes, but we really truly believe it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be shouting about it here. So, in this handbook, you get so many deep insights into sustainability communication, into sustainable communication, sustainable marketing and PR, communication in general. And you get templates to help you craft your sustainability story. You have access to checklists to help you ramp up your communication. You'll get scorecards to help you measure your progress. There are interviews from leading sustainable hoteliers who are doing things right. There are case studies of other hotels that are doing it right, a list of MAP and Rupp approved resources, organizations, books, and much more to help guide you further. The value is enormous. And after working through it, you will have a sustainability story in place, you'll have a communication strategy in place, and you will know what stakeholders to speak to and how to effectively engage them on sustainability. You will know what channels to be on. You'll understand what communications tools and tactics to employ. You'll also know how to pitch to the media, how to know to measure and report on your progress, and much more. So ultimately, you'll benefit from building awareness for your hotel. You'll drive sales, you'll have increased customer loyalty, you'll position your hotel clearly in the market, enhancing your brand's image, earning more profit, attracting and retaining top talent, responding to new reporting regulations, mitigating risks, and increasing investments. I could go on, but I think we've given enough.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it has been over a year of work to put everything together in such a practical and actionable way because, as we mentioned before, we really want those hotels to thrive who put in such a lot of time and resources and thoughts and heart and passion in their sustainability initiatives. Now, last but not least, for whom is the handbook suited? The Sustainable Hotel Handbook Communication was crafted with independent and boutique hoteliers in mind. As hotel consultants, we know better than anyone that independent and boutique hotels have limited time, budget, and resources compared to bigger hotels and chain hotels. Therefore, this handbook really focuses on everything such hoteliers need to communicate their sustainability initiatives both internally and externally, and of course, in a successful manner. But what we have seen that our handbooks are also extremely beneficial for those working with hotels, like other consultants, other agencies, or seeking to work for hotels. Now, we also work with students, with universities, with organizations, and others in the hospitality industry.
So, yeah, we wrote the Sustainable Hotel Handbook Communication and other handbooks on the Sustainable Hotel platform to make this planet a more hospitable and purposeful place for all. By empowering independent and boutique hotels to make an impact, that really was what drove us and was our purpose and
Yeah,
motivation
exactly.
behind putting the book together. So, not every hotelier needs or can afford private consultants like us. That's why we wanted to create a handbook that is accessible, easy to use, and practical for hoteliers, no matter their size or budget. We filled the handbook with practical insights, tools, and resources so it's packed with value and has everything you need to communicate effectively and successfully. So be sure to visit thesustainablehotel.com to learn more about it and make your purchase.
What else to say that bye bye? Stay tuned for more. Subscribe to this podcast on your favorite channel because, of course, there is another season coming up of the S Word podcast. And we are excited to learn more about sustainability in the travel industry, and so on. Now, for the final and last time in this second season of the S Word podcast, The Sustainable Hotel, thank you so much for joining us on the journey to build a more hospitable and purposeful planet together. Onwards.
Onwards. Thank you, Lena. It's been a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Same here. Thanks, Natasha.
The second season of the S Word podcast, The Sustainable Hotel, is all about sustainability and hospitality and how you realize more success by communicating your hotel's sustainability initiatives in a sustainable way. Visit thesustainablehotel.com to discover free tools, guides, templates, resources, and much more to guide your hotel in implementing sustainability in a holistic and impactful way.